Hello, everyone. You're welcome to the Black Female Entrepreneur Greenwich. And this is the BFEG International Women's Day event. We are live at all our platforms. You can watch us from YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and also both of our Facebook page. So guys, happy International Women's Day. My name is Lucy Isaiah, your host for today. And I have some amazing local women in our midst, phenomenal women from different parts of our locality doing amazing work. And I also have some of our beautiful young ladies joining us today, and they will be giving us a take, hashtag the girl child, hashtag how important it is for us to celebrate not just women, but also the girl's child. So over to you, Madam Shosho. Madam Shosho will introduce herself, and then everyone in the table from Second Thought, from the youth, from Adi, BFEG radio show, and then we can now kick off to this very important topic.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Black Female Entrepreneur Greenwich. Lucy, thank you so much, Madam CEO. I salute you, ma, and happy International Day to every wonderful lady and every woman. You are unique in your own way, and I'm unique in my own way. And I want to say it's so good to be back live. And like Lucy said, we are on all platforms. Guys, what I normally say, and I will say it again, get your favorite drink, your snacks. It's going to be really, it's going to lead because we have some young people on board. So it's going to be mamas and the young ladies. So I'm going to leave this, give chance for them to introduce themselves. So I'm Tammy Aguido, one of the directors of Black Female Entrepreneur Greenwich, and I'll pass it over to the next beautiful lady. Over to you.
Hello. Okay, yes, over to you, Professor in the house.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mercy. I'm one of the directors for Black Female Entrepreneur Greenwich, and I'm really privileged to be part of this amazing group. And if you're out there watching us, please be part of the BFEG, because this group actually celebrates women with different talents, with different abilities, and from all walks of life. So we celebrate everyone. And if you have been following us on Twitter or on Facebook, you will see amazing women, the activities they're doing. And you can see us even in the library. You can even see us in Royal Borough of Greenwich in different activities. Celebrate women. So I just want to say to you, women, you are incredible. You are different. You are unique. You are who you are, and be proud of yourself. Be proud of your skin. Be proud of your accent. Be proud of your structure. Be proud of everything that you are. And we salute you, and keep moving, keep going. You are the reason why the world revolves, because you educate a woman, you educate the world. And I salute all women. Thank you. Next to the other incredible woman.
Over to you, Adi. You're mute.
Okay. Yes, good evening, everyone. Yeah, this is Adi Goretti. I am a new kid in the block. Amongst all the great women, I am the youngest of all of them. As you can see, I bet you've not seen my face in these platforms before. So we are awesome. I mean, I am awesome. You are awesome. Everyone is awesome. As long as you're born a woman, I think you just have to accept that you are awesome. Yes. You make the world go round. Everything revolves around you. Without you, nothing happens. You know, whether anyone wants to admit it or not, the women are the shakers and the movers, you know. And tonight you're going to see some of those characteristics amongst us. Yes, every woman in the world. It's International Women's Day. Even a young girl today was telling me, oh, it's Women's Day today. I said, yes, you're going to have to celebrate yourself. You're going to be a woman soon. So whether you're born a girl, whether you're going to be a mother, or, you are awesome. I think that's the word I will use for you. Awesome is your name. That's your metaphor. So every time you look at yourself in the mirror, tell yourself, I am awesome. Yes. And you do the things that awesome people do, which is awesome women do. Because as you know, give us anything. I remember somebody saying, give a woman a house and she builds a home for you. Do you see what I mean? There's so many other things. Do put something else and you get a child out of her, So we are awesome. God produced us, movers and shakers. I welcome all of you all over the world and the women here as I hand over to the very next awesome woman.
Very nice also woman. I think we are now shifting it to very well handsome girls, amazing young people in the house. Over to you, Perez, and then we have Fatima.
Good evening, everybody, and happy national, let me correct myself, International Women's Day. To all the viewers watching, I want to thank you for watching, and I hope you're touched by what we talk about today. My name is Perez, and I'm one of the young girls on the platform today, and I hope you enjoyed today's session.
Thank you, amazing. That is our host for the Young People Book Club online. Amazing. So over to you, Fatima.
Hello, everyone. My name is Fatima from Second Thought Youth Hour Radio Show, and I'm very excited today to share my take on what I think about International Women's Day and things about the girl child. And I really hope you guys enjoy today's session.
Okay, thank you, everyone. We are just live. It is all buzzing. International Women's Day. What is international? We were saying yesterday in our platform that is where we actually officially launched this event, that International Women's Day is one of the incredible days that every woman should be. It's even more super than the Mother's Day, because it is very inclusive in nature. It's very inclusive in terms of celebrating women. Because with the Mother's Day, you see people that have children or people that are carer to child. But with the International Day, it's very inclusive. It's both young girls, both women, both mothers, both carer. As long as you're a woman, as long as you're amazing woman, you should be celebrated, no matter your background, your ethnicity, who you are. The work a woman does in the society is more than anything we can discuss today. But the most important thing that we are going to be doing today is actually embracing the theme of this 2023 International Women's Day, which says embrace equity. What is equity? And you can see where we talk about. So I'm going to go around and give everybody like 2 minutes to talk about what equity is. What do you understand by equity, and why is it important that women in women development and women engagement, equity should be embraced by every walk of life? So I'm going to start with Adigoreti. From your profession as a teacher and as a scholar, what is equity, and how do you think this is important in women's development?
Wow. Equity. I never like using that word without justice. As a marriage of both of them, equity and justice. Yes. Equity is ensuring that everyone gets an equal share, using my own understanding of the word. I'm not going to go into a dictionary definition. Everyone is, it's like a national cake. So you don't eat it yourself. You share it with everyone, and everyone gets a bite of it. But when some people are getting a bigger share than others, then it doesn't actually amount to, Equita's share of, the national cake. So we look at who we are, especially women in this globe, are we having an equal share of our positions, of, jobs, of, what actually should belong to us in the workplace? Yes. Are we given the opportunities that everybody else has? I think is the way I will look at it. That is what, to me, equity is. Because if I'm in a job with somebody else and we're doing exactly the same job, I'm not getting as much as, maybe I'm not even getting as much recognition as that person, then I will say to myself, okay, this is not, equity to me, because if it is equity, we'll both come out happy, or we all come out happy. We celebrate each other's achievement, yes, at the end of the day.
Thank you very much, Adi, for actually breaking that down and actually adding the phrase of justice to marry it with it, giving everyone the same opportunity. Like you rightly say, we've seen some job whereby the women are paid less than the man and they are all doing the same job. So equity is very important. Workplace need to not only just having that policy in place, but making sure those policies work in line with what we are talking about today. So I'm going to go over to our Professor Mercy in health sector, because she's an health professional. When we talk about equity, what is your understanding of equity and how is it important to women development?
Thank you very much. When we look at equity, we are looking
I think your volume is quite low. If you increase your volume a little bit.
Yeah. So can you hear me now?
Okay, it's a bit, yeah, but we can hear you.
Okay. When we look at equity, often we are looking at fairness. We are looking at the ability of proportionate of everything. Which in law, they say, he who comes to equity must come with clean hands, which means that when we are judging from the left and we are judging from the right, our judgment should be fair. So when we look at a woman should be treated fairly wherever she is and whatever job she's doing. But we are not claiming to be men, we are women, and we are women of substance, we are women of valor. So whatever job we do, we want to be celebrated the same way as nationally, everybody should be celebrated. If there's a piece of cake, as Adi said, let it be shared equally so that everyone has a bite of that cake, rather than somebody have a bigger one, the other one have a smaller one, and this one. So equity means that we're all going to have an equal share in the global development of the country, of the organization. But at the same time, we are not claiming to be men. We are not claiming to be somebody else. We are claiming to be women of substance. That's how I look at equity.
Very much. Mercy has actually put that in her own perspective in terms of fairness, and we can't say much in actually articulating on that. Fairness for all women in terms of every aspect of life. Let their voice be heard. No matter who they are, where they come from, fairness. Like Mercy said, we're not trying to be the same position as a man. We're trying to say we are men, but we said fairness because we are all human beings and we should be given the same opportunity, the same platform to actually grow in our own capacity. Thank you very much. Over to you, Madam Shoshu.
Yeah, to be honest, equity it has been a very increasing word that a lot of people have been using lately. Very important in discussion. But basically, it's always a word that is used in a workplace. I'll talk about equity in our community as women. Is fairness, justice for all people, including women. But that equality issue, we have to be able to do it 50-50. So in the community, when you're taking care of looking after other people, whether man or woman, you have to be fair. So women, if you notice, even in our community these days, or even in politics, they'll tell you that a woman has to be among any selection for it to balance. So fairness, there's no impartiality in it, social equality, social equity, impartiality, fairness, justice for all people of all social policies. It's one of the basic things. I think systematically is something that most community has assessed, and opportunities and the outcomes of of equity has really made a lot of people and women importantly, very important in our society and in our community. So I think fairness is the game for equity. Thank you.
Over to you, Perez. From your own point of view, as a young lady, as a young person in school, that you're going to face life challenges very soon, how important it is for every young girl out there to get equity in terms of their access to services and access to learning and access to a platform to grow.
Thank you. So I just want to start by saying that thinking about equity in general can help us decide how to distribute goods and services across society. Holding the state responsible for its influence over how goods and services are distributed between men and women, and using this influence to ensure fair treatment for all citizens despite their gender. As I'm a student, in schools, male sporting opportunities are mostly promoted more than female opportunities. Instead, it should be promoted and supported equally, because society needs to move away from the fact that girls are going to be more in the domestic scene. Some girls are athletic and love doing sports instead of the domestic scene, let's say caring, for example. So society needs to move away from that vision and enable and push our girls to do what they find passionate. Gender diversity without inclusion and equity can lull the organization into a distorted sense of victory, that if there's an improvement in representation, the work-life quality would also revamp through the traditionally underrepresented backgrounds.
Thank you very much. That was eloquently explained from your point of view as a student. And we see that happening all the time in school. Even when we talk of sports, there's kind of classified girls, oh, you go and do this sport. Yesterday, was it today? They said the Lioness were talking about fairness in sport for young girls in school. And this applied to school management, to governors. I hope they are listening to us today, whereby decisions are being made what kind of sport a girl should play, or which girls look muscular to go and do football, which girls look a little bit this to go and do this sport. Every girl child should be given the opportunity at school to do whatever suit them. And even though whatever they want to study, don't say this is a girl, go and focus your attention. And it's eloquently spoken there, Perez. And that was very, very, I hope our listeners and those in authority, education system, young people section should be listening to this and make sure the girls' voice are heard. Last on our list is Fatima. Please tell us what equity means to you in terms as a young lady aspiring to be what you want to be, and how that platform should be open at all times for you to be what you want, what you aspire to be in future.
Thank you so much. So I really think that equity is important, especially in young girls, like our future, because you're seeing now women don't have the opportunity to display themselves. They don't have a platform to express themselves. And we don't want young girls to think that that is the way forward. And we don't want them to think that that's the only opportunity they have. So I think equity is very important to teach our young girls that if you want to go and do a certain thing, it's not only men that can do this, like anyone can do it. And going back to what Adi and Messi said, we're not asking for women to be a higher position than men. We just want fairness and equality. So I think that equity is important so that the future in our young girls can be more bright and they have more to look forward to.
Thank you very much. That was a very amazing contribution from Fatima. So right now we're going to go back into the main issue of why we are actually celebrating International Women's Day and bringing it back to development of women. Development of women. What should we do in our today's society? I know every year in, we talk about International Women's Day, and every year in, they bring new topic, new theme of what should be the title of the team. People are looking forward to it. Everyone is posting the team, embracing equity. This time I celebrate. The last time they were saying every women matter. Every year, there's different theme, but we have different things, we still have not seen changes. So I don't know if my panel has seen changes. So my next question to my panel is asking, as we celebrate International Women's Day, we've been celebrating it for decades, and each year there's different thing to what we're doing. Can you tell me if you have seen changes? Have you seen changes in what we do? Have you seen changes? Because we all talk about equity, justice. So for donkey years, for a decade, we've been celebrating. Do you think we've actually seen changes in terms of empowering women, in terms of supporting women, in terms of creating that platform, in terms of even this equity we are talking about? I'm going to start from the young people, because before you become a woman, you become a young person. So we need to start targeting and campaigning for it for the young ones, so that by the time they become women, the platform will be good for them, and we don't need to be battling on this issue. So I'm going to start with Fatima. Do you think there's enough support for young girls out there in terms of giving them the opportunity to achieve? Do you think the policy, do you think everything that is being done is centered around young girls to achieve, or there's more to do?
I don't personally think there has been any drastic changes, because coming from a youth person or young girl, we need like those centers, those opportunities to be able to express ourselves and feel free. So I don't really think there's been that platform to do that. So to be able to do that, I think there needs to be more promotion, more centers, youth clubs for girls, so that we have an opportunity to express ourselves.
Thank you, Fatima. Thank you for raising that big issue. Yes, we look at some of the youth club we have today. Most in the center around young boys. So I think there need to be more. There need to be a drastic change in terms of providing a youth center that tailor around girls' need. Services that tailor around girls' need. I think that's the point. We're picking this point, and all this thing will be channeling it to the local authority in terms of our conversation for youth, for the girl child. Over to you, Perez.
As I'm a student, I'm going to continue speaking from a student's point of view. obviously today is International Women's Day, and I went to school and nothing drastic happened. People tend to forget that women are remembered mainly in the ways that our well-being promotes. They are generating a source of income to sustain their livelihoods. They also work to protect society, impart knowledge, and generate awareness among the people. Obviously, in a school, there's a lot of females, young girls, girl childs in London. So for a school to not recognize
There's a lot
us,
in.
not sure what happened there, but for the school to not recognize the female students and give us a little bit of celebration is quite embarrassing, because as soon as the male football team wins a match, is all praises. You come into the assembly and the first thing you see, let's clap for the boys, they won the cup, or they beat this school 2-0. But when you see the girls' achievements, there's no praise, there's no accolades. And I think today specifically was a time to praise the girls, and no praise was given. So schools need to get into the routine of giving us praise. And like Fatima said, youth groups, but in my opinion, it should start from the schools. The schools should do clubs, girl clubs, to talk about their feelings, their future, and how they want to impact society using their skills. It shouldn't just be outside of school and in the community. It should start from school and spread outwards into the community.
Thank you very much, Perez. That was such nail at the tip. It is good to hear that schools, I think myself with Tammy was in one of the program organized by the Council for Housing. And one of the things that we were talking about is how the nonchalant attitude of school towards celebrating some of these important and specific calendar of the year. We talked about the Black history, we talked about the Equality Charter, we talk about culture, now International Women's Day. So there is most of the time, the school should learn to incorporate some of these special events into their curriculum so that it will help them to raise awareness of things that are happening within school. They should have the girls student to actually design a program for International Women's Day and get them to talk about what they want to do. I think this is something we will be writing to the local authority about, asking for school to make this part of their curriculum, because then that gives them more room to talk about issues affecting girls and how they can actually create a project around this. Thank you very much. I'm going to go to Mercy. From your own point of view, I want you to center it around the health sector. Do you think enough has been done to support women, down to we're looking at women's health? When we talk of equity, when we talk of health inequality, do you think enough has been done to support women around that area?
We might not say that it's 100% enough, but it's an ongoing a process of improving things. So we want to look at it this way. We had Jade Goody, she died because she didn't do a cervical smear. The GP has been sending messages, but the messages were ignored. So now what we are facing within the ethnic minority, and not only the ethnic minority, but in the wider society, is this: people are ignoring their health. They're ignoring the warnings like cervical smear checkups of their breasts, and things like that. They are ignoring the letters. And now, the more you ignore your letters, the more things can go wrong anytime and you're unaware. So every woman out there, be aware of your health. Do some checkup. Visit your doctor all the time. Do an MOT. An MOT will detect whether you have got a percentage of heart attack or a percentage of cancer or anything that could be wrong with your body, it is your right. NHS pays for it. You have to make sure you go for MOT. Then your health is checked. Check your blood pressure. Check your blood sugar. Know your weight. If you think or you feel like you're getting over the BMI, make sure that you come up with a strategy that make you shape off that weight. Because if you don't, you are encouraging diabetes. You also encouraging high cholesterol. You also, your heart is carrying more weight than it shouldn't, and that will trigger health issues. So my advice to every woman out there: be alert, be interested in who you are, watch what you eat, watch how your habits are, health, eating, exercises, healthy, choose a healthy lifestyle. When cooking, make sure you get the oils that are suitable for your heart and your whole well-being. When you're doing all your shopping, remember the greens are also encouraged to the whole family. Have a of eating, and also associate yourself with those people who are conscious of their health. And this can also help because they are having a lifestyle of going out there and exercise. So that is one of the things that I say. If you go to Lalou's Catering into the restaurant, there is healthy meals that you can choose from. If you want even help with how to prepare your meals for the rest of the week, you can get that for free. This is one of the incentives that all the people who are under the Black Female Wing, you can get all these healthy eating boxes from Lalou Catering. They are based in Woolwich, Leslie Smith Square over there, around Nightingale. So it is one of the incentives that we have as Black female entrepreneurs, that you can get a healthy meal that is designed for you. There's also some exercises that are available within the Black female entrepreneur. So we are health conscious and we want to pass it over to you. You don't pay anything, but it is that your desire that comes up there, and you get the menu for the whole week or for the whole month. It's up to you. You get the exercises as well. So this is what the women should do. You are what you eat. You are who you are. So be proud of yourself. Take care of your health. Check your breast. Go for smear test. Make sure you look healthy. Thank you.
Thank you very much. From Mercy Conversation saying, yes, it is a slow process, but it's gradually coming. But the women need to do their own bits. I believe that is what you were saying. The women need to do their own bits. They need to play their own part. So we hope to see that more come from those in places of authority, because we know there are some women in our midst that are English are not their first language, or they have some kind of learning challenges which might affect their way of actually getting into the services. Like as most messages say, BFEG is there to direct you and help you. I'm going to go straight to Tammy. Do you think enough has been done? Enough has been done in terms of local women in our community? Has there been enough in actually supporting, developing the women in terms of giving them the platform, in terms of providing enough when it comes to education, when it comes to accessing of services, when you come to becoming their own boss in terms of providing the availability of signposting that will help them to build up their career?
Yeah, thank you, Lucy. I believe that a lot of things we lack, that as women, when we talk about women being supporting them in our community as well as empowering them. Local authorities, they'll give you excuses that there's no funding. So a lot of women lack workshops, trainings, and again, language barrier is part of it. There are little groups, around in our community, all over our local authorities. I would say the local authorities should stop using these little groups or organizations as a tick box. Let them, you don't know everyone in your community. These organizations knows all the women that are affected. They know how to get to them, because it's not every woman that will be able to approach, go to maybe the main authority to say, I need this. There are some of them that they have that fear of insecurity. They can't come out. So I think the local authority and the government need to do more in our community to empower women. And again, among our women, we need to start empowering each other. And I will advise that women too, whatever you have doing, because I would say it's always good to learn. There is no stupid question. There is no stupid question. You need to ask questions. And we need to get, because some of the women, we can get them in schools. When the drop-off section, the pick-up section, a lot of mothers, a lot of women are always there. And they will be happy to get leaflets of any information. Because again, they said a closed mouth is a closed destiny. So in that particular groups, what groups you are, we need to get more funding to enable women to be able to express themselves, to be entrepreneurs, to be able to help each other. We, as a woman, if you don't have any resources, you can't do anything. And I think, again, I'll say they've not done that much, because small groups get suffered, even though they see the small group helping. Where the small group will need a lot of money, you hear the local authority giving them peanuts. And that particular training or workshop or activity is very expensive. So I would say to the local authorities, don't work the small groups, don't work them willing hogs to death. Give more funding so that our women will be supported in our community. And again, it's a woman that grows a family, and it's a woman that grows an estate. So let's give women chance. And again, if you give the women chance, you will see that our community will flourish. Thank you. You are muted.
Thank you very much for pinning that down, and especially raising the fact that there's a lot of local community out there that are easy access for these women to go and get support. Sometimes some of the women are very shy, or due to one thing or the other, they are not able to reach out to be. It can be very frightening, you know. It can be very frightening when you are even approaching big organization. It can be like, I was not very outspoken like this before. Even I remember my first day at the Children's Center. The Children's Center is a very friendly place, but I went there, I stood there. The person at the reception, I don't even understand why that person was there, So, and I was telling him, I said, the GP said I should come here. That's what I was saying to him. And he just said to me, the GP is not supposed to refer you here. So you see, this is again, the first point of contact. The first point of contact for a woman is very important, because that first point of contact can either help this woman to become the best and provide a key information for that woman, or that first point of contact can become the worst point of contact and will make the woman to actually withdraw back and not wanting to go back to access any services. So it is important that whoever like what Tammy said, whoever the local authority is allocating funding to support women, they should have that is an all-inclusive first point of contact, friendly, welcoming, and just don't assume that anyone that come in there are coming to give you problem. And again, this don't come down to staff recruitment. Do not recruit Hayamatanga on the reception. There are some people that they are not supposed to be a receptionist. There are some people that are not supposed to be a social worker. There are some people that are not supposed to be a teacher. There's a lot of people, they're not even supposed to be a nurse or a doctor. They're just career hungry people. And they're in this position where they're supposed to help women. We go to them, we'll come back to the hospital, they go to GP, the GP is doing like a talisman. Before you say one word, he has already tell you what is wrong with you. He has prescribed paracetamol. Don't allow you to say what you want to say. You go to the social service, you are trying to explain to the social service what your problem is. The social service has already condemned you. You are a bad parent. We're going to collect your child from your hand. You go to a head visitor, you're trying to tell the head visitor, my child is there. They say, how come you have go to parenting class? You know, these people does not understand that life is hard for people. Or you're walking into a center, maybe Woolly Center, we see some of them that are there. There's some good stuff, I'm not getting me wrong. There's some good stuff, but there's some, when you get there, they think they are working in Buckingham Palace because they call it Royal Borough of Greenwich. They think it's Buckingham Palace. As soon as you enter the Woolly Center, they sit down there like the king guards. You are telling them you want this, you want to access this. They're telling you, They cannot hear what you're saying. We don't hear what you're saying. Why are you here? Go and do this. My dear, it is just Greenwich Borough. It's not Buckingham Palace. You know, these are all the things that we are saying that people in position of authority should learn to be welcoming. Anyway, let me go to Adi before I start downgrading. Adi, over to you. Do you think they've done enough? You are in the education sector. You are muted. You are in the education sector, and you have received. You are very academic, very academician. You know, you've you've achieved. You've had the opportunity to attend a lot of institutions to get qualification. Do you think enough is being done for women to access education, to go to higher institutions, to get training so that they can get a better place of work and get a better salary?
Well, I want to take it back, first of all, to the definition. I try to avoid the equity definition in the first place. But I want to bring out three major stumbling stones, yes, or stumbling blocks, whichever way you want it. It is the equality. Take equality first. You talked about first point of contact. So take equality. Then take being fair, number two. And then thirdly, impartiality. So look at those three words and then put them, you know, just fit them into those building blocks of development of women, equity of treatment of women, that you are not probably just seen as, oh, you know, she's a childbearer. Because there's also this this barrier to culture in our society. They will look at certain culture of people and say, they only stay at home and breed children, you know, that's all they are. But if they are given the opportunity, thinking about the fact that we were talking yesterday at that African port, celebrating women, that we are the shoulders of the family. You know, you chop off this one, you chop off the neck, there's nothing left of the family. So the woman bears that burden of ensuring she's an accountant, she's a teacher, just name it. She's a social, she's everything. But are they given the opportunity? And does that barrier start from schools, the way that they are perceived in schools? We've touched on the fact that, they don't do certain sports. I mean, I was very interested to hear that the girls are beginning to play rugby, right? Because remember, it was just sports for the men. And we have big football clubs now attached to all the different football, you know, machines in this country. And in America, women are fighting to get equal pay, you know, as men. They go out there to do the training, they spend same hours, they go out to international matches. Can you tell me where the equality is then? Yes. Where is the fairness? Because that is the special money being paid to men are left only for men. It's also possible that a man and a woman, you know, husband and wife, can be footballers. She plays for a female club, the husband plays for a male club. They should be treated equally. There should be no impartiality in allowing women from school to take on so many subjects. You remember those days? Women used to only be told to go and do vocational studies. Why is that? So Tammy said earlier on, and so many of my beautiful ladies have mentioned it, that it's so gradual, but we want to see it expedited so that women can be taking so many of those positions. If you look at the head teachers in the whole of the country, even in primary, you get a lot of men, more men as head teachers than women as well. So there should be a balance, which again, they are trying to, yes, to ensure that if there's a man head teacher, there should be a female deputy head teacher straight away, and vice versa. So that while the woman is also looking at the men, the girls' situations or whatever comes up, the man also is. So wouldn't you say that is equity then? Because sometimes when problems happen at home, you hear the dad saying, oh, go to your mother. So why is it different in school? It's not segregation as far as I'm concerned. It is the ability to be fair to all the sexes in school, make the children feel valued, yes, push them, nudge them on to what they are capable of doing. If they want to go physical, of course, allow them to. If you don't want to go physical, then it's a choice. I would rather I am given the information that enables me to make that choice for myself, not that choice being made for me. That in itself puts us in a corner as women who are not being developed enough, right? There are certain places, very interesting, the Christian Channel just this week was talking about the fact that there are even religious countries that do not show fairness and kindness to, you know, their population compared to other people. And it does happen. Just today, it's been announced that women are going to be reading the audio Bible. For years, they haven't been able to. Actually, I was thinking, should I go and email so that I can apply to be a voice in one of the books, because there are about 60 something books and therefore I can take one, right? So only now, for example, are women being given the opportunity to read the audio Bible. If you are a Christian, it's always men who read the audio Bible. Is that equality? Is that not being impartial? Is that fairness to women? And luckily, they had a diverse, you know, culture amongst them. And I was shaking my head. I said, that is really true. Very good. They've started with the New Testament. Then they're going to go to the Old Testament. So the world is moving, but not moving at the rate that we women actually want it to. We want it to be faster. Like we said earlier on, we are not asking for equality with men. That's not what we're asking for. We're not asking to lock horns with men. We are just asking to have our place, to be able to share that matrimonial, you know, instinct that God has given us, that we can actually see beyond our noses compared to the other sex. I'm not trying to annoy anyone, but it is very true, yeah, that it does happen. You have that instinct to know that. And I think that is intelligence. So we should be allowed to be in workplaces, to be everywhere, but it is too slow for us.
Thank you very much, Adi, for actually putting it into, I call it the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, the Trinity angle. Actually, bringing it out and making it that women have the voice that they're supposed to have. I don't think we should be having this conversation. I always say it because most of the time when I do this program, they're always repeated. It come like a symbol. You do it this time, and you do it the very soon. We do the Mother's Day. We do this. We call it. But I have not seen the change that we are asking for. And maybe there's too many things. You know what? Sometimes when there's too many things in the plate, you know, when they serve you food, they put all those ashakia, body, brocoto. They put all the meat, all the chicken, everything. You start to pick it. You don't even know where to pick. Or you go to the Chinese restaurant. There's a lot of mele the food. Then you'll be using the stick and you don't know which one to swallow. Maybe we are putting too much on the table. I don't know. Maybe we are putting too much. Maybe we need to just say, okay, can we pick one thing and that will have a timeline of when that should be achieved? Because each year, like I say, different team has come up and that has not actually done anything. And for me, I'll now go back to the last segment of our conversation, which is the Women's Center. I want to see a Women's Center. You know, I think every locality should have a women's center, a women department. This is not women organization. This is not like the Black female entrepreneur, the domestic violence women group, the Makaseli women group. That is not what I'm asking for. You know, I am asking that we have a department for women, you know, a center where women will go to actually get the proper support. And that center should have representatives of different community groups. So that when you go there, you will see people that will support you. You know, if you will see people from your community, within each borough, they have the statistic of different community groups. And you should have those community group network in that women's center. And people that should be employed should not be these people hashtag attitudes, you know, hashtag attitude, nonchalant attitude. People that does not want to do anything, but they want to collect salary. I call that one benefit cheat. It's a salary cheat. You are being given a job. You don't want to do it, but you are sitting down there, you are not moving anywhere. We want a center that will tailor around women's needs. We know we have the domestic violence place. It's not every woman that go through domestic violence. There are some women that just need somebody to put them directly. They want to go into education, they go into education. If they want to go into training, they go into training. They say there's no age that is too old for you to start education. I've seen a woman that went to school at 40 to become a nurse. I believe Mercy will justify because I've gone to Mercy Training Center and I've seen some women, they are 60. I mean, they are 45, 50. They are still doing nursing training. And a lot of women don't even know that they are 60, they can still do nursing training. Madam Mercy is here in our midst, she's a trainer. So this is where I'm talking about. Is this not important that we have a women's center that can support our women and tell them that no matter your age, no matter how kolo your head is, it doesn't get information. There is something for you that will empower you, that will give you a voice, that will make you that when you leave the house, you feel proud of leaving your house. It doesn't mean that you must speak English. English should not be a barrier. In any way you want to speak it in your accent, that is how God creates you. You understand? People telling you that your accent does not fit in a job, that company should be shut down. Because we're talking about equity. That is you, we are not equal. Look at my finger, we're not equal. The way you speak, the way you look as a woman should not justify the kind of job you go for. So Mercy, over to you. In terms of training, because women will think maybe because they are 50, they are 60, they are 45, or because they have 5 children that is following them like a duckling, they say, oh, I can't do it because I have one child, they have one child. That should not be a barrier. So Mercy, over to you.
Thank you very much. And I think the idea you have raised of having a woman center, it is very, very important. But when we're looking at women of color, they look at their age and feel like, oh, I'm too old, I can't do this. Not only that, some of them, they are already scared of the mainstream because of their accent. And these women, they're very intelligent women, but the barrier is the fear of the unknown, the fear of the mainstream, to say, if I speak like this, what are they going to say? But these are people who are really gifted and talented in one way or the other. Not everyone is the same. Like Lucy said, my fingers are never the same. But this first lady, she might not be academically talented, but she can be a very good nurse. She's loving, she's got empathy, she's got caring, she's got everything what it takes. Yeah. And these are the person very intelligent, but they can't see themselves as intelligent as they are. They are shortfall of to see the future, the goodness in them. So they're different people. But if we have a women's center where women can actually go there and get information, guidance, and support, and also redefine who they are, it doesn't mean to say that you're old, then you cannot access education. Everything is available as it is available to everyone. So the Women's Center will be created to meet the needs of those people who have been disadvantaged in their background, or raising kids, or fear of the unknown, or domestic violence, or mental health, postnatal depression, stress, anxiety. All these people, these are the women you are looking at today. They are suffering from all these ailments. So what we need to do is to have a women's center where they can go and confide in the center. And in that way, education can be given to them. Everybody can learn. Now we've got the ability of giving information in different languages. If there are a certain number of people who are within the community or the society, we can actually get information given to them in their language. I'll give an example. Woolwich is covered with the geckos. Now, you find there are leaflets about health, which is in their language. And you find that we also have learned how to say good morning, good afternoon to the namaste, and we have adapted their culture and we're implementing it. So why can't we do the same thing to the woman, that she who is struggling in accessing education? Education can be at any time, but there's no reassurance of making me to understand that as old as I am, I can get education that can be tailored to my needs, that can be what I want, or that can be suitable, or I can push the education with the support from the government. These are the things that we are looking at. I think a women's center is the answer, so that it's a shoulder to cry on for so many. And I tell you what, if that is established in the Royal Borough of Greenwich, you find that there's a lot that is going to come out, and the knife crime is going to drop, children misbehaving is going to drop, domestic violence is going to drop, because the women are supported in every area of their lives. They are given that confidence that can make them to run the family, to run the business, to be themselves without fear of anybody. So education is very important. And at any stage of your life, you can be educated to become anything that you ever so want.
Thank you very much. I know there was a phrase you said there, Mercy, a place to redefine yourself. Because when you have children, sometimes you lose it all. When you go to a women's center, will help you to redefine yourself. As a woman, when you lost your job, it affects you badly. A women's center that will help you to regain your confidence and get another job or learn another skill. And I know the other time myself with Mercy, we're talking about tailoring education to fit in people with special needs. There's a lot of our women that they have learning barriers. they have learning challenges. So when you go there, they will assess you and say, okay, you have these challenges, you can study in this way and pass your exam and become something. Now school, the education is changing. Sometimes they will say, okay, you can connect by Zoom. I say most of the time you connect by Zoom. Connect by Zoom, do a training, help you, and then you can get pay-to-pay support. A place where a woman can re-identify with themselves, can redesign themselves. I'm going to go to our young people. Now we talk about the Women's Center. How do you think that Women's Center will fit into a girl? We create a platform for a girl center, because once we have that Women's Center, we can have another arm where it is also providing services for the girl child, because then you can see pay-to-pay mentoring, learning to become a woman, learning to redevelop yourself, looking at role model. So I'm going to go to Perez. How do you think this Women's Center we are talking about now can actually create a platform for the girl child to have a girl center to redefine herself? Over to you, Perez.
Thank you. So, in my personal opinion, I believe that through the Women's Center, we can also bring the girl child into the Women's Center and nurture the girl child to become what she wants to become. It will also create a sense of family and unity within the female society. Because as females, we all go through the same thing in terms of physical development, mental development. So it'll be a place where the girl child can relate with their fellow girl child. It'll be a place where you can talk freely about what's going on in your life or in your development. You can talk about that. It will normally when you're talking about stuff, you'll feel awkward. But in the Women's Center, you'll feel a sense of belonging, because you will see others like you and you'll feel comfortable and you'll actually relate to them and feel like, oh, okay, this is normal. This is a normal challenge we face as women. Now, how can we all overcome it? It'll be a place of team building, skills, like I said before, coming together. Also enhance and bring out skills that you didn't know the girl child has. And then that can be used to develop yourself in the future if you want to be an entrepreneur or if you want to start a business, whatever you want to do.
Thank you very much, Perez. I think you've actually just crammed that up. And what you say with what Mercy said just complement each other, that how important this center will be, not just for women, but also for girls, and how you can actually have pay-to-pay support. And again, that's what we say. Sometimes you go to some places to raise some issue. It's very awkward. It's very awkward for you to speak, because the person you're speaking does not even cannot even relate to what you are saying. Now we're looking into wrapping this up, but before we wrap it up, I'm going to go down to culture. Culture is a very strong one. Bringing down back to the BMA community, bringing back to the Black community. How does this International Women's Day help? When we look at our culture, when we look at cultural insensitivity, we look at people actually dealing with Black women, because some of these services that we're talking about, some people that are in these services do not understand the culture of people they are dealing with, the women they are dealing with. And that is why sometimes when women came to services, it is very important that you as a social services, you as a doctor, as a nurse, and as a frontline staff, you understand the cultural background of that person and know how to signpost them to the services that will meet their need. Because there's no need of you signposting me to a services that when I go there and start telling them that this is what I'm feeling, and if the person is just, you can see from the person's face, if the person is surprised that this kind of thing is happening to you as a Black person. So those in those frontline services, how it is important for them to be like a cultural training. I know we were talking the other time in terms of the housing department, how important they have cultural training, but not tailoring it down to the women assessing services. How important should those services that are centered around women should be culturally sensitive, so that they know how to tailor services to women and girls? Over to you, Tammy.
Thank you, Lucy. Just before I go to the question you've asked me, talking about the Women's Center, I remember as a very young child, there's something back in Nigeria called Better Life.
Yes.
And it was a center and it was a program for women, and it was diversified, both for entrepreneurship, for learning, for all the things, even as well as making clothes or being industrious. Better Life was one of the things. So if we want to do that in our borough, we should be thinking of that, something like that, and it will go all around to every woman, even if educated, illiterate or non, everybody is covered. So talking about what you've said, I know that we went to a program where we hammered on this particular topic. I would say it's good for people to understand culture for women, because it's very important. A lot of women, because of culture, I can give an example. I think someone was trying to express herself, and because of, she couldn't really put it through, and there was pressure on her. Oh, sorry, I could not understand what you were saying, or something like that. And another lady just decided, okay, let me say what you want to say. So in the essence of that makes a woman go into a shell. And then the cultural part of it, if I don't know how to speak English, English is not my first language. So we should try get interpreters to go with them. And it's not a shame. I will say that to every woman now. Don't feel ashamed to say, okay, if I'm going out, I don't know how to speak English. I went to a trade union meeting, and this lady said, my English is not good. And she had her son or her brother there, and she spoke in Congolese, and the young man interpreted the whole thing for her. So when it comes to culture, they should get people, specific people, special, or get little groups, like I said, who understand the needs and the cultural background of these women to attend to them. I still going to say again, Lucy, give them funding to be able to attend to them, because at the end of the day, like Messi just said now about the Nepalese people, truly, some of them really teach you Komosag or their language. Yeah, Nomasa. I learned that in my place of work. I've learned other languages, and me, like me, I don't know the Ghanaian language, but when I see that, I say Etese, and they will ask you what part of Ghana. I don't know, but I just say it. So it's good that we, as our local authorities and in our community, give that preference for culture. Do not despise any culture, because it will be disrespect. That's where it comes with the equality charter that we are talking about. If they don't follow people's culture, it's rude. Just like someone is cooking maybe banga or noodles, and then you start saying, oh, as a neighbor, it's smelling. So you don't do that. So as a woman, whatever that woman does in their culture, we need to respect it. Whatever walk of life that the ladies come, like now we're talking about having a woman center. They might come with their own different way. We need to start respecting people's culture. We need to make more research. Don't use us as a ticking box. Get people that are specialized. Get people from every walks of life. Like when you do interpretation, when they write statements, like when they had COVID, they were doing it in different languages. We need to now put priorities in our culture, because London or United Kingdom, it's a multicultural at the moment. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would go to Fatima. We just talk about cultural differences as a young girl, as a young person, accessing services. How is it important that as a Black girl, that whoever is actually supporting you should understand that you are from this background, and they should tailor their services and their need to your care? It's Fatima. Okay.
So I think that people should do better in understanding us Black women, because it's really important that our voice is out there and people listen to us. So as a young girl, I think it's important that because of our future, we know that if now a change happens, our future will be better for us. And we know that our next tomorrow is going to be bright. So I think it's important that people understand where we're coming from, even though our language may not be the same. We might not have the same skin color, but they should understand where we're coming from and try and help.
Thank you very much, Fatima. I'm going to go to Adi. Adi, we're just talking about cultural differences, assessing services, and you are on the education sector. I remember we went to first aid. We went to college. I actually reported this issue. This happened in Greenwich, Royal Borough of Greenwich. We went to college. We went to Southeast College, and we went to do first aid course. And I think we're about 15 of us or 12, and all of us there were from the BMA background. There was African, there was Asia, but all of us are migrants that went there. And you get to see the attitude of the staff from that college. The way they were talking to us when we were trying, there was no privacy, you know? You come in there, in the open reception, and they were speaking very loud, and they expect you to also speak loud. What is your age? How old are you? When did you come into this country? You know, very, very hostile. And these are women. And you know what even annoyed me? First aid should be a course that you should encourage everybody to assess. But going to a college to run first aid training, and they're acting like immigration officer, they were acting like police, they were asking you also to, it was so hostile that some of the women end up going back. This is where I come back to first point of contact, and this go back to culture. Do you think education system like university, private school, primary school, have gotten enough training or need more training in terms of understanding people's culture, so that when women from that background come to access those services, they will not feel inferior? Because what they do is actually putting that, first of all, using that their professional mechanism or institutional segregation to make the system so hard for you to access the services, and you end up, and this causes barrier. So Adi, what do you think about this?
I think in all its entirety, you've said it exactly as it does happen in so many places. Yes. Tammy gave an example, you know, Fatima talked about, you know, that center that every child girl should go into and feel comfortable for that first point of contact. But I think I want to bring it down to equity of treatment. Because, I mean, come on, my ladies. Yes. If you and somebody else walked into a center and you were looking for the same things, the attitude towards you would be very quite different in terms of reception compared to somebody else. And it does happen in schools as well. You see a Black kid go to a teacher to ask for help, and a white kid goes to a teacher. The tone with which that Black kid could be dismissed. And if you're standing as a Black teacher, you sometimes just jump in and take a business that doesn't belong to you, because you can tell. So it's about their attitude, you know. So it's the equity of treatment that we're still asking for. I'll give you an example of a secretary, a school secretary, who is supposed to be the first point of contact, right? Came into the staff room And broccoli and tilapia fish is actually called St. Peter's in this part of the world. As if other people haven't named it, because the fish is all over the world. They swim to wherever, you know, they migrate as well. And this woman turns around, just because this person is a Black teacher. This white secretary turned around and said, what is smelling? Goodness gracious. And, you know, I don't take any chances at all, because if I have my rights, I want to, you know. So I just turned around. Oh, funny enough, what is smelling? What do you smell? It's English broccoli. That was exactly what I said. It's English broccoli. And the fish with it is called St. Peter's, which is sold in the Mongers market in England as well. So I went into because I can roll my tongue if you force me to. Yes. For me to tell you, yeah, I will tell you, I get a plum in my mouth to speak, but you cannot speak what I speak. So that makes me more intelligent than you are, right? Because if you speak more than one language, it's been proven by scientists that you are more intelligent. So as soon as I said it's English broccoli and all that, she zipped. And the lady went over and said, tell me, is that you are supposed to be a secretary of a school to treat everybody the same? You see a Black teacher, the teacher is warming her lunch, and you choose to denigrate her food. This is a professional in your institution. Will I come to you tomorrow to come and ask for something? I probably look for somebody else who will give me that smile when I walk in as the first point of contact. So the children get it, and that actually, you know, sort of dissuades them from going for what they deserve or what they should, you know, go for, because they feel, oh yeah, if I go, oh, they're not going to, you know. And you have to understand people's culture. You have to understand, you know, where people are coming from. You have to understand that these people are probably not giving. I was talking to somebody today and I said, look, I went to a meeting where I was meant to be promoted. And this woman, of course, she was, you know what, and got somebody external to come and examine me, because probably she thought because I'm an African woman, you know. And I just said to the man, I said, excuse me, the education we get in this country, yes, I'm educated in this country, but it's very Eurocentric. Very Eurocentric. Can you tell me one reason why we cannot read Chinua Achebe? Why we cannot read texts from Africa that has got the themes and issues that affect the whole world? I said, what do they end up doing in exam boards? They get excerpts. I said, it doesn't tell the story. Chinamanda's book, they are reading excerpts now in AQA. I mean, I really find that very, I told Lucy yesterday, I said, I want to go to the United Nations. I've been telling a few people, I told Uncle Sam, I said, I want to stand there and I want to speak to them, because they seem not to understand issues that would help to create this equality we're looking for, this equity we're looking for women. Yes, giving them the power, empowering them to do what they are capable of doing, which would, of course, enrich the society as a whole. It's not, they're not doing it for a section of society. Those women, remember, are the mothers of the men who you put in position and put above of women. So I don't know where that authority, except from the patriarchal, yes, origin of the part of the world that we are, that the man, if you remember the Shakespeare's time, century, the man is the father of the house, the woman sat at home and, yes, okay, we're going back to work and all that, but you still have the pockets of it. So these children find it in schools, experience it in school. Some of them get withdrawn. They come and talk to you. You patronize them. And as soon as they realize you're patronizing them, you've deflated them. And therefore, they're not going to be empowered to want to do what they're capable of doing if they do not get that support and openness. So
Thank you.
I think we need
Thank
a
you.
ministry. We need a Ministry of Education.
Thank you very much, Adi, for actually.
Sorry, Ministry of Women.
Women. We have that in Nigeria.
Yes.
Is it, Tammy? You're mute.
Yeah, we do. We have.
Yeah. Ministry for Women Affairs.
Affairs,
That's
yes.
right.
Do they have that in Europe? Do they have that in UK?
I haven't known about
The
that.
Ministry for Women Affairs.
I think something similar.
Similar. I don't think that person is active. That person needs some ogogoro to drink to shake them up. They are not active enough to get this. Thank you, everyone. You see, we're going to wrap up this show right now because I believe we've updated a lot of talk that has come out of here. We need a department. I hope Rishi Sunak is hearing what we're saying. We need a department for women affairs to actually tailor this issue. In your local borough, let's go to the central government. We need a ministry for women affairs. And in your local borough, we need a women's center tailored around women need. And just to wrap it up, do you think we, the women, are doing enough to support each other? This is where there's one thing for you to take the whip and flog the fly out of your house. But what are you cooking inside your house to attract flies? So that is we are trying to use the whip to actually beat the fly out of the way. But within us as a women, do you think we're supporting ourselves? The girls, the young girls, do you think the girls are there to support themselves, or they team up with the boys, gang up with the boys to actually beat down the other girls? Or now the effect of social media, people going online to shame other girls, putting unnecessary picture of people out there. Do you think we, the women, are doing enough? The other time we're talking about the black upon black racism. When you come back to culture, do you think our black women are doing enough to support other local women that have not got? Because some of our black women think they've got to this stage and other people have not got it. They just put them aside and let them to suffer. So this is one minute each for everyone on this panel. I'm going to start with Mercy. Do you think women are doing enough to support other women, professional women? Are they doing enough to make other women also professional?
To be honest with you, this is still in the making. You haven't understood the word support and competition and jealous and sister. We haven't actually grasped those concepts that this is my sister, and let me support my sister. Let's work together. That hasn't, and maybe we're still working on it, or probably that is something that we need to start. This, as we say, that if we had a women's center, this is where it should start. If we have women affairs, this is where it should start. We're all sisters. Whether your skin color is red, is pink, is yellow, is black, is brown, we are sisters and we should be working together.
Thank you very much, Mercy. You said it all. We should do more. This is a working process. I hope by the next year it's no longer a work. He has taken the leg of a tortoise and become the leg of a cheetah. You are now working fast to become supportive. Over to you, Perez. Do you think girls are doing enough to support other girls, or they are just there backbiting, making it difficult for other girls? Do you think your young girls out there are really ready to support other girls to become this girl champion, this girl power?
I like to say that jealousy is a disease, and unfortunately, in young teenage girls, is very common. When we see our mate flourishing, we like to spread a rumor to bring them down. We love to do a little whisper and say, "Oh no, she's don't support her," to bring someone else down. But what we need to realize, as the girl child, we need to realize that empowering other women and girls to speak and express themselves also carries with it a responsibility to curtail negativity. By supporting each other, we can affect change, we feel more confident, and we start to believe in our own power, meaning that we feel a sense of individuality, and we feel more equipped to take on new challenges. We don't feel scared or worried. We feel equal to the task.
Thank you very much. Well spoken. That is a very beautiful way. You know what they say? Jealousy is the root of. Let me finish that.
Jealousy.
Jealousy. Jealousy is the root of hatred. So tell me, did you hear what they say? They say jealousy is a disease. Women. Mercy has said, it says, stop the competition. Stop the competition. There's enough space for you to spread your ego wing or to fly your wig. Don't create competition. Don't start running when there's nothing to run about. Perez has said jealousy is a disease. And this is a man-made disease that has no cure. No doctor can cure it, except we ourselves. Over to you, Madam Shosha. Do you think women are also doing enough to support themselves?
I'm laughing because Perez just smiled. He said jealousy. Please. To be honest, I said it yesterday when we were doing the African Ports. Women supporting other women is very hard. And the hashtag for me these days is women bringing other women down. You see a woman very creative, you copy her instead of praising her. Oh, you cannot speak good English, but you are copying her. You don't know the brain behind it, but you just, before you know, you metamorphose the whole thing and make it because you can speak good English. Let's stop bringing ourselves down. Let's continue to lift ourselves up because it's not a good thing. That's why you can see that in a gathering of women, it's very easy to penetrate because there's always a Judah amongst them. There's
in every 12.
Yeah, it is there. And before you know it, when you push sugar on the ground, how long does it take for ants to gather it? Few seconds, and it's over the thing. So please, let's learn to love and let's learn to share. Yes, the sky is big enough for all of us. So let's stop bringing ourselves down. Thank you.
Madam Shosha has said it all. What did she say? She said, we like to condemn other people, but we copy them.
That's right.
There you see, instead of us to team up together and work together, we are busy condemning them, but we are copying and pasting. At the end of the day, you are doing yourself because you end up having, it's like when you are condemning Lucy and you are copying Lucy. I'm multiplying. If you copy,
I love his funny.
You are condemning me. You are talking about me. You do this, you do that. But everything I do on our platform, you copy it and you repeat it. That means you are multiplying, Lucy. I'm not the one that is condemning. I'm flourishing and you are going down. Bullseye. You are going down. That's it. So over to you, Adi. Do you think women are doing enough to support themselves? 1 minute.
I have 5 words. Because if I go into that realm of, I will charge up. So I rather not. We need my 5 words is we need to do more.
We need to do more. That is the phrase. Adi has said it. He said we need to do more. And those of us that think maybe, oh, I've helped this person, I've done this person, that is not where the journey ends.
Now you are pushing me.
Jesus.
I'm sorry, ladies. I'm going to talk about Lucy now from the bottom of my heart. I went to an audition. How did I meet Lucy? She's another woman that has empowered me. In my profession, I've always wanted to do radio for a long time, but my job hasn't given me the opportunity to. By the summer, I'm so knackered. And then it just goes on. You know how you just go around that wheel. I went to do audition because somebody posted something. I didn't even know the person. She knows who I'm talking about. And it was there that I met Lucy. They had radio on the audition. I was saying to myself, I'm too old to act. I cannot act, you know, and all that. I've passed my sell-by date. So I just said to Lucy, I didn't come here to act, you know. They're giving me scripts to read. I came to do radio, but there's no radio anything. And Lucy said to me, oh, you like to do radio? I said, oh, Lucy, I've been wanting to do radio from the day that, you know, but I haven't had the opportunity. Lucy said, call me. This is where I am today. It's empowering women. And we should be open to do that. But like she rightly said, I still would have done that. And behind, I'll be bickering about her. And yet I want to do. So I said to her, I said, Lucy, I need to learn. I need to be able to, you know, and I'm sure a few years down the line, who knows who will pick me up from the media that we all are. I say, oh, I hear this voice on the radio all the time. But should I forget where I started from? No, I shouldn't. If I'm able to, I should empower somebody else. So it just goes on and on. That's why I say we need to do more. Open-mindedness, that jealousy should be out of it because nobody is on your lane. You are on your own lane. Nobody's going to run your race. That person's, I mean, come on, her prowess is not, I can never be Lucy. Never, even if I tried to. But I do have my own lane to go on. We respect each other. We carry on. Where we can bring minds together, we do. And that's what it should be. We need to do more. Women, they are too much trouble. We need to do more.
Thank you very much. Like you say, everyone has their own lane. Learn to pass the battle on. Don't hide it inside your equity. Once they give you a baton, you know what equity? Equity is a box. Once they give you a baton, they give you a platform. Don't go and hide it. Pass it on. That's what they say. Pass the baton on. Don't hide it. So the women, that's what they say, pass it on. Fatima, you're going to wrap up this show for us. Do you think girls are doing enough to support other girls? Or the girls are just there to, maybe they don't understand the meaning of girl power. What do you think, Fatima?
So like everyone has already said, I think we need to support each other more because nowadays, especially in school, you see girls, they're always fighting each other, spreading lies, gossips. And instead of doing that, I think we need to come together and show that it's not all about fights and lies. I think we can really come together and do more because especially myself, I've experienced people spreading lies and I don't think it's very nice. It can really hurt one's feelings. And especially as today's topic is women independence and about how we need to empower each other. I think instead of people spreading lies, we just come together and become one.
Thank you very much, Fatima. I don't know if you finished. Okay, thank you very much. You see, Fatima, I just finished the last comment. We say, this can hurt people. He does hurt. To every woman out there, if you are very good in running your mouth, it does hurt people. It is not only when you take knife and choke somebody that you kill someone. Your running of your mouth actually pierces the soul of people. Those of you out there, I'm going to tailor it now back to our borough. You know yourself. You know yourself. Those of you that spend your time running down other, because we have amazing women group in Greenwich. We have amazing, powerful women in Greenwich that do amazing work. But at the same time, we have the caterpillar women, the caterpillar and razor women, that their job is to destroy other women. Then you see them, the project that they are running, they don't go front, they don't go back. You see them, They're already in high places. They've already made enough things for themselves. Where they are, you cannot even get there. But still, they are still called the bulldozer. They are busy using their teeth, their hand, their mouth, pulling other women down. Please, it hurts. It hurts. It really hurts. There's a lot of people that have done a lot of things to me. I think I'm free to use International Women's Day to say this. Don't see me putting on my nice jackets, my nice faces, putting on my boo-boo, I'm flying. Some of the things you guys have done to me is deflecting me. You understand me? It's killing my vibes. It's killing me. Stop all this bickering. It is not nice. Because they say it is not when you cut somebody's neck, you've killed them. What comes out from your mouth can actually destroy people. Learn to use your mouth for positivity and help other women to grow. If you cannot say anything good with your mouth, please take some eba and seal it. We don't need you to speak. You can be silent. Tell us, we can send you a course for deaf and dumb. Then you can't speak anymore. Please do not hurt people. It's hurting people. So thank you all for listening. I have to wrap up this show. It has been an amazing time with these phenomenal women. You see, brain is working, intelligence. Happy International Women's Day. Amazing, amazing. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mercy, professor in the house, all the way from, is it the London Care? Thank you for that. Thank you very much, area, House of Tammy. We thank you for your amazing, always there. Adi, you are such an amazing woman. You know, your fire is a tornado. Thank you very much for actually being here. Hurricane Hardy. And these two amazing, I tell you, these are the future. These two amazing young girl power, Perez in the house shareholder. You know, they are taking over. They're going to take over from us very soon. You guys wait. You think maybe me and Tammy were a problem? You will see something. Never know. Never even start. And Fatima, thank you very much for joining us. And all the women in the Royal Borough of Greenwich, we wish you a happy International Women's Day. Be your women's keeper. Continue to show love to one another. We can grow. There's enough place for all of us to shine. And we say big thank you to everyone that have listened to us. A lot of love and happy International Women's Day. Love. Love.
Tammy, take care.
Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone. Bye.